Today we're going to be learning about the artwork of Charles McGee. He is an American artist from Detroit mainly. We're going to learn a little bit about his art and his style of art, his life, and we're going to make a sculpture based off of one of his. You will need paper and something black to draw with today, like a marker, a crayon, or colored pencil. So let's learn a little bit more about him before we get started. Charles McGee is an African-American artist born in North Carolina on December 15th, 1924. He died on February 4th, 2021 at the age of 96. He was raised by his grandparents who were former sharecroppers. While working with his grandparents picking cotton, he gained an appreciation for harmony in nature. Later in life, when he began making his own art, he used shapes and colors that were opposites like black and white, believing that this is necessary to create harmony in art and in life. Today we'll be looking at his black and white sculptures as inspiration for our own art. A sculpture is art that is 3D and can be viewed from many different angles. Okay, artists, you can see an example of a finished sculpture that I've made. Here's another one, just so you can kind of see the differences. They're not always going to turn out all the same, and that's what I love about this project. What you're going to need today is you're going to just need a white piece of paper to start with and something black to draw with. I'm going to use a marker, but you could use a colored pencil or a crayon. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to draw some lines. We have our paper vertical, and we're going to draw all the way from the top to the bottom. Now, you could do a straight line. You can do a little bit of a curvy line. One thing you should know, whatever kind of line you're making, we will be cutting this out. And so you don't want, if you are doing a curvy or a bending line, not to make it too difficult for yourself. You don't want to draw something like that. It's okay to bend, maybe have a mix, kind of straight parts and a zigzag. Whatever you think is going to make yours seem a little bit more interesting once we cut it out. And I'm going to try to make at least, so far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I can fit 5 in here. I'm leaving about 2 finger spaces before I start each line. Okay, so now that I have the lines in here, the next step to do is to create some decorations in each of these spaces. And you can use lines, you can use shape, you can even do patterns to do that. Try to avoid numbers or letters. So you could do something like diagonal lines. You can try to create a variety of sizes of lines. We've been learning a little bit about how to do that with the marker. So right now I'm kind of using the side of my marker to get thick lines, but I could go back and I could add some lines to make it thinner. So then I could make a pattern if I use just the tip. And don't push very hard. Each space today, I am going to create a different design. I don't want them to all be the same. I want them to be different. So maybe in this space, I will do some circles. Maybe I can fit part of circles on the side here. Okay, so maybe in this one I will use some spirals. Okay, so maybe I would like to use some little stars or snowflake designs in this one. All right, I've got spaces for 2 more. Notice that I'm making the designs the same all the way down the shape. I don't want to do halfway down and then switch it. Try to come up with the same design for the whole thing, whatever that happens to be. Maybe I'll do a shape. Okay, so now that I have created designs in each one, I'm going to choose a couple of these where I color something in. So maybe, for example, on the heart one, I will color inside my hearts. Okay, and one more place for sure that I want to color in. Sometimes I don't want to just color inside a shape. Sometimes I like to color around the shape. So instead of perhaps coloring in the circles on this one, I might color in the negative space, which is the space around the shape. So I will show you what this looks like once I get this colored in. Okay, you can see I've got all of the places. If you feel like you want to color in a couple more things, you can, or you can just leave it like this. It's nice to have some darker pieces where you have some things colored in and some lighter pieces as well, but you don't want to color everything in. We want to have some contrast between those. Contrast meaning that they are not going to all be the same, that you want some to be different. Now I want you to save this paper for next time, because next week we are going to be cutting this out and gluing it on to make our sculpture, and I will show you some ways that you can do that next week. So if you're at school, please make sure your name is on the back with your code. Do that with pencil, not with a marker. And if you're at home, please show me how you're doing. Show me your creative. Remember, you can come up with different designs than me, so I want to see how creative you can be without using numbers or letters. All right, I hope you've had fun with this one. Stay creative, and until next time, goodbye.